The poster boy for Street Fighter is here in full force during the Season 5 update. Ryu boasts a strong arsenal of tools that allows players to improve their fundamentals, and some of his gameplay can be easily carried over to other characters, making him a good choice when you're learning the game. Ryu excels in the fireball game. His fireballs come out really fast, have great pushback on block. If you like controlling the pace of the match and hitting those juicy anti-airs, then Ryu's got you covered. But he isn't a full keep-away character. When Ryu hits you, he hurts, boasting one of the highest damage outputs in the game, especially in either of his V-trigger forms. As mentioned earlier, Ryu has a very good way of controlling the screen. The use of fireballs and the choices that you can make within your combos allows you to decide where the fight is going to be taking place. The introduction of V-Shift gave everyone a new option for defense, but it must be said that Ryu has a large variety of defensive options. The access to a parry on a V-skill and V-trigger if so chosen, as well as a wake-up reversal in the form of his EXDP in conjunction with the new V-Shift, means that Ryu, unlike some other characters, has a multitude of ways to keep his opponent out and guessing on their offense. However, it must be said that even though he has very ample control, it doesn't come without its weaknesses. Ryu's normal buttons, other than a few such as crouching medium kick, standing medium kick, and forward heavy punch, leave a lot to be desired in times of the poke wars that occur in neutral. So if you aren't comfortable in using your fireball as a poke and would much rather the use of normals as pokes, then he does suffer a little in that department. Furthermore, with so many options in the game that can deal with fireballs such as V-skills, projectile invincible moves, even the addition of V-shift, not allowing for fake fireball strings. Even though his fireball game is strong, it also means that it's a glaring weakness as the game just has so many options for fireball based characters. Ryu's V-Trigger 1 is a buffing V-Trigger. It buffs his fireballs, and thanks to the recent update, a big buff that Ryu got this update is that now his punch attacks give more hit stuns, meaning new combos that required counter hit no longer require counter hit, which means it gives him access to some of the biggest damaging combo outs non-counter hit. Furthermore, his fireballs are much faster and they lead to a knockdown on hit and also deal more damage, and they deal stun on hit, meaning his damage output in V-Trigger 1 and stun output is one of the highest in the game. Ryu's V-Trigger 2 is a mechanic as it is a parry. Now you might be asking, why is this better than the V skill? Well, the main reason is it leads to a crumple state, and if Ryu successfully lands the parry, not only will it allow for a combo, due to how scaling works in the game, it's going to deal a lot of damage. Furthermore, thanks to the patch, he can now cancel special moves into V-Trigger 2, allowing for decent extra damage on combo enders. The last topic on discussion is Ryu's V-skills. The reason I left these till last is that in terms of V systems, they're not that good in terms of the overall game. However, I would say that V-skill 1, Ryu's parry, is somewhat decent in the neutral as it also lets you parry fireballs, and of course it also allows you to parry attacks. Do keep in mind, however, that it does have a decent amount of startup, so it's not going to be something as strong as, say, V-Shift for example. Ryu's V-skill 2 is also somewhat of a parry but with far less startup. However, I would really not recommend you guys use this V-skill, as essentially it's almost like a gimmick in the sense, because why would you use V-skill 1 when it's much faster, a little bit more reliable? The only advantage that I could find that V-skill 2 gives you is that it lets you activate into V-trigger so that you can get some decent damage in the corner. Other than that, I wouldn't say Ryu's V-skills are that good overall, and I would highly recommend you guys use V-skill 1. So overall, Mr. Hado himself is a good character to choose for players looking to start out with someone that is a jack of all trades, but at the same time, he can allow you to punish your opponent with his high damaging combos, and due to how flexible he is on combo enders, he really lets the player decide how they want to play the match and allows for excellent control with his fireball game.